soy Francisco and I'm going to be your teacher today. Hoy vamos a aprender sobre pronombres de objetos directos, pronombres de objetos directos, object pronouns. So when talking about object pronouns, it means that you are going to replace what we call nouns, because object pronouns usually stand in for nouns when what is being talked about between parties is very clear. So there's no way we can use the pronouns when both of us don't understand what we're talking about. So they usually come in to replace the nouns. For example, let's say John has a car. John has a car. So between has, we already know that we're talking about what? A car. So there's no way I can come and tell you that John has it when you don't understand what I'm talking about. So I can only say, so he has it, when I've already talked about John has a car. So he bought it. Let's say yesterday. So in this case, what I'm doing is I'm replacing the word car with it, and that is what we are calling an object pronoun. So there's no way we can use the object pronouns unless both of us understand what we're talking about. So in Spanish we have these pronouns. We have me, which is me. We have te, which is you, but singular for one person. We have le, which means him. La can mean her or it, but feminine in this case. Then on this side, I'm going to show their pronoun. Before that, we have lo, which means it but masculine. Remember, la is it feminine. Then when forming the plural, you do it on this side. You say nos, which is us. Alright? So nos is us. And then we have te, the plural is os, which is you plural. And then we have le, the plural becomes les. So les will mean them, but for people, in this case who are male. Then we also have la, which can have its plural, which is las, to mean them. This can be used for things and people. In this case, these people should be feminine, this thing should be feminine, so for feminine. And then we have lo, which is it, masculino. And then the plural becomes los, which will be them, but for things. So this is the list of what we call the object pronouns. So how do we use these object pronouns? Let's say John has a car. So I'm going to say John tiene. Remember, tiene is from tener, which is to have. So John tiene un coche. John tiene un coche. So I don't want to repeat the car. So I want to replace the car with a pronoun. So and then once you use a pronoun, it should come before a conjugated verb. Most of the time, they usually come before a conjugated verb. That is the usual position. Though they can also be attached at the end of an infinitive, or they can also be attached at the end of a gerund. But for today, we are attaching them before a conjugated verb. Let's see. Look at this. I'm going to say él lo tiene. Él lo tiene. He has it. So this lo stands for the car. And then I must be able to do what? To consider the gender of the noun. I must be able to consider the gender of my noun. So there's no way you can use what? That noun unless you understand its gender. Very important. Then let's find another example. You can say ella escribe poemas. Ella escribe poemas. She writes poems. I want to say she writes them. She writes them. So what do? I'm going to look at my noun, consider the gender and also the number. Is it singular? Is it plural? Is it masculine? Is it feminine? So this is a noun that is masculine and plural. And therefore I'm going to have an object pronoun which is masculine and plural. Let's say this one, because we are talking about poemas, which